I wanted to do a little video today that I thought would be really helpful, and it's 20 health issues that start in the gut. Hippocrates is famous for the quote, amongst many other things, all disease begins in the gut, and it is so true. Like almost virtually every disease begins in the gut, in your digestion, for many reasons, but mainly there's so many jobs that go on there. Psychological jobs, creating enzymes, using enzymes to digest food, protecting against viruses, creating nutrients, absorbing nutrients. Just everything that we come into contact with goes through our gut basically. So it's really important to take care of it. And the reason I think this video is going to be really helpful to people is because I get questions all the time from people. Emails, do you think this is related to this? Or, we're dealing with fatigue, we're trying to figure that out, but do you think it has anything to do with Accutane, that acne medication that I went on 15 years ago? And the answer is yes, so many things are related. And when I work with clients, one of the first things we do on the initial health consultation is we go through your whole health history. So we'll go through everything. We start way back from your mother and your father's birth to your birth, to everything in your childhood. What medications did you take all the way up until now? So I even ask, was your mom a cesarean birth or was she born naturally? Did she have soy milk formula or was she breastfed? What issues did she have? Because so many of these issues all stem from the gut, but they just can manifest in different ways. So an example is maybe your mother or father had really bad depression or IBS or some other digestive disorder. And then you don't have any of those problems, but you have really bad asthma and eczema and, something along those lines. So it's really good to be able to connect these all to give you a whole health picture of your life. And I just think it's crucial for people to be able to connect the dots in their health history. So all of the things I'm mentioning start in the gut, at least majority of the time. They don't necessarily have to start there. But it's very common for them too. And if you can kind of connect some of these, and maybe you have a few of these issues and you never thought they were related, it's going to be really helpful in just kind of putting your whole health picture together and getting to the root of your problems and ultimately your healing journey. So I'll try to keep it simple. Some of them I'll expand upon, some of them I'll just leave it at that. Okay, so the first one is food allergies and sensitivities. So this is major. It doesn't have to be from the gut, but I would say 99% of the time it is. So when we eat things, if we have a leaky gut or we don't have adequate bacteria to protect the mucosal lining, things can leak into the bloodstream undigested. And then your immune system will attack them because they're not supposed to be there, and it can create kind of like a second nature attack whenever that food is introduced. So that's really common, is those food allergies and sensitivities. And then the second one is allergies, more like hay fever type allergies. In the spring where you get runny eyes, itchy eyes, maybe you have a histamine kind of issue, you can't be around pets or cats. That, like the food, is very similar. It's your immune system responding and your body not being able to process and eliminate things that it should be able to. So the next three I'm kind of grouping into one. Acne, eczema, and psoriasis. So they're three separate issues, manifest very differently, but they are all from the gut. When our gut is impaired and we don't have enzymes to digest things, like I said, things leak into the bloodstream. So it can be toxins from viruses that they're excreting. It can be, heavy metals from the pollution you're in contact with, or maybe lead from some old paint or something. When those leak into your bloodstream and they're not excreted through your digestive tract, which they should be, then your immune system goes into overdrive as well. And oftentimes people's liver and kidneys and other detox organs will be overburdened from just that constant state of toxicity that stems from the gut. And so when the liver is not able to detoxify, the gut's not detoxifying well because it has holes in it, we see your skin acting as a major detoxifying organ, which it should, it's meant to, but when you have an overload of pathogens and viruses and toxins that aren't being processed through the liver or the kidneys or even the lungs because they're overburdened, it'll start seeping through the skin. So, eczema and psoriasis are commonly linked to heavy metal toxicity, but it's also in the gut. They work together. Things going on in the gut will actually eat up toxic metals and hold on to them in your system. So it really, really does stem from the gut, and it's your skin trying to detoxify these toxins that are in there that your body's not getting rid of properly. And same with acne. In Chinese medicine, they say the bowel is the mirror of the face, or the face is the mirror of the bowel. And that's really true as well. When you have a gut that's functioning properly, really, really well, you're not dealing with any of these other issues, your skin will clear up as well. And I've seen eczema and psoriasis, severe ones, be cleared from working with the gut and doing a heavy metal detoxification program. Urinary tract infections is another one, because our vaginal area is meant to be really acidic and to kill bacteria, and you're actually meant to have a really good gut flora that extends to your vaginal region. So you're supposed to have bacteria that prevents any bad bacteria from forming and repopulating. And when we don't have that good gut flora keeping things in check, we can get those bacterial infections, which pretty much every woman deals with. And I used to deal with them a ton when I was younger, and since I did the GAPS diet, I haven't had one, and that's been 10 years, so that's really cool. Yeast infections and other things associated with yeast, like toenail fungus, dandruff, even some, not mastitis, but you can get it like when you're breastfeeding. Those are from yeast overgrowth in the gut. So when you're not having adequate gut flora to keep those yeasts in check, they overgrow and they feed on sugar and they feed on grains and all these things, and they can get out of control. And that's where you're going to get those reoccurring yeast infections, because like I said, your vaginal flora is not able to protect itself. Heartburn, a lot of parasites in the gut, which everyone has parasites. You're not going to get rid of them. If you look at any animal in the world, sharks, whales, they all have parasites. So we're not going to ever be able to get rid of them. We don't want to do that. But if you have too many, it can cause low stomach acid and essentially heartburn or acid reflux, because we're actually supposed to have a really acidic stomach. So we need an acidic stomach to create enzymes to break down food and to kill off viruses. So it's actually really essential. And if you don't have an acidic stomach, when you come into contact with viruses, they pass right down into the rest of your body and can go into the bloodstream. So it's really essential to have an acidic stomach, and it's often low stomach acid that actually causes heartburn. I'm not going to get into all that, but that's true. Chronic fatigue syndrome is another one, which can come from autoimmune diseases, which is your body attacking things through things leaking into the bloodstream, and your immune system's attacking them, and then it starts attacking yourself when it's repeated enough. Migraines and headaches, 100%. That's our journey right now. If you have migraines, going to a doctor, anyone, the first thing they say, well, they tell you, do you drink water? You're like, oh, I've never thought about that. I mean, if I had like $1 for every time someone that has said that to my husband, it's like, yes, we drink water. But one of the first things I'll tell you is, avoid citrus, avoid chocolate, avoid this, avoid, nightshades or whatever it is. And so that just kind of proves that really migraines, headaches, other pain like that can stem from what we're eating and what's leaking into the bloodstream and what is our body attacking and what is even crossing the blood-brain barrier to our brain. Because if things are leaking into the bloodstream, the blood goes to the brain and it can just create a toxicity, and migraines can stem from that. So it's not specifically one thing in the gut going on, but I think it's a ton of different things that just lead to migraines and headaches. Autoimmune disease, I talked about that a little bit. Epilepsy, for sure. Seizures, it's your brain cleansing itself from the toxicity, 100%. Asthma, again, your lungs are a major detoxification organ. So if your gut is overburdened with things that it's not able to excrete properly and they're leaking to the bloodstream, your lungs will try to get rid of it as well. So asthma is a huge one. Ear infections, depression, anxiety, autism. There's so many more psychological ones I could add to that. Insomnia, Schizophrenia is huge, bipolar disorder, but essentially, again, it's that your brain is overwhelmed with toxins that can be coming from multiple different sources, but usually the gut is a major source. Bad bacteria, bad yeasts are overgrowing, your mucosal lining of your digestive tract is not being protected by those bacteria, and so it's being irritated, it's creating holes, and so food particles, everything, those yeasts, those toxins are leaking into the bloodstream. So that's the main thing, is like things starting in your gut not working properly, and then they're leaking into the bloodstream when they shouldn't be. And then your body just goes into attack mode. It's attacking things, it's trying to detoxify them from the lungs, the skin, just everything. So anxiety, autism, and depression, those are all, your brain is high in toxins and it's not able to respond properly. It's important to note as well that depression and anxiety are so rampant right now, and there are a lot of causes. I'm not saying the only causes from your gut, not even close, but it's one that's very much overlooked. And it's important to know that about 95% of your serotonin, your main happy, calm, feel-good neurotransmitter that so many people that are depressed are lacking, is made in your gut. 95% is made in your gut. It's not made in your brain. So we need adequate nutrition to create it. We need good protein and good fats, but we also need a gut that is working properly. If your gut is in chaos and nothing's working properly, good luck making that serotonin and being able to signal it to your brain. It's just, same with anxiety, GABA, and dopamine, and all of these neurotransmitters are created majorly in the gut as well. So I think it's like 80% of your dopamine. Okay, nutritional deficiencies. So it's essential in our gut that we break down the food we're eating. The process starts in your mouth, goes to your stomach, all through the digestive tract. We're trying to break down food. And if it's not properly broken down in your gut, because you have not enough of that beneficial bacteria to break it down, and you're not actually creating the enzymes to break it down, and then you have low stomach acid from the overgrowth of pathogens, you're not breaking it down, and then you're probably not chewing your food adequately. All of these things are leading to your nutrients not being broken down and not being absorbed properly. Not only that, it's important for our gut to break down nutrients, but our gut also creates nutrients, which is amazing. It creates the B vitamins, vitamin K2, so it can really help with that. And you want a gut that's working properly so that it can make those nutrients that it needs. Okay, another one is anemia, which kind of falls under the category of nutritional deficiencies. Anemia, iron and B vitamin anemia, 100%. If you have an overgrowth of pathogens in your gut, things aren't being kept in line, parasites, whatever, they will eat your iron. They love it. So even if you take iron supplements, once it gets into your gut, they will just take it. And so you can be eating tons of red meat, spinach, vitamin C to help absorb it. And if you don't have that good bacteria, you can still be anemic, which is sad. And then the last one is heavy metal toxicity, which a lot of people have and is related to so many health issues. Most people don't know they have it because you don't think about it, but I'm gonna say toxic metals, not heavy metals, because like aluminum isn't actually a heavy metal, but these toxic metals are in so many things. They're in vaccinations, aluminum, mercury, they're in the pollution, nickel, lead pipes used to be a really big thing, copper, cadmium, like all of these are so rampant and they're in so many things. And so many people they come into contact with these heavy metals and their body isn't able to get rid of them properly. So let's say we eat an apple that has a ton of pesticides on it, a lot of which are heavy metals, and we eat it. We want it to go into our stomach and our gut and pass through everything, like a pipe, like a closed up pipe. It just goes straight through and then is excreted. But if you have those little holes all in your pipe, those heavy metals start leaking into your bloodstream and they can actually attack different parts of your body. and they chelate to silica-rich tissue, which is often your joints. Your heart, certain things like that are really affected by heavy metals. And like I mentioned earlier, heavy metals also are linked to eczema and psoriasis and those skin issues, so, and an overgrowth of yeast. So, okay, I just went through all those. I hope I didn't bombard you, but I hope you learned a few things. And maybe you have a few of these diseases, but you didn't realize that they were connected. So if you can kind of connect them or connect them to some of the issues your parents deal with, you can better identify if what you have is a gut issue and then what you can do about it. So if you don't know what to do about it, you can watch some of my other videos. I talk about the GAPS diet and how it works, what we're eating on it, and yeah, just how it works to heal the gut lining and repopulate that beneficial bacteria in your gut. And yeah, it's essential to you. If you plan on having kids, it's essential to their health, as they're gonna get your microbiome when you give birth. So if you can fix that now and you can fix your health issues, you can stop those in the tracks, and your kids aren't gonna deal with some version of gut health issue, and you can just stop that problem right there. So if you think this is related to you, now's the time to fix it. It's not too hard. It's a journey, but it is doable, and it is so worth it because you're gonna find so many benefits. Like I've mentioned before, when I first did the GAPS diet, I did it to heal stomach issues, which I did. Bloating, digestive issues, stomach pains just went away, and I could identify some things that really didn't sit well with me. But not only that, my skin cleared up. My eyes were super clear. I felt great. Like, I didn't need to take a nap every single day. I restored so many nutritional deficiencies in myself and just felt amazing and became like the biggest promoter of the GAPS diet in the world. So I highly recommend it. And if you want to watch some of my other videos, that will probably be really helpful to kind of get your mind in the right place with what to do next. So thanks for watching. I hope you learned a few things and can start to connect that puzzle of your health issues. Hi, thanks for watching my video. You can feel free to comment or like below, or you can follow me on Instagram or on my website.